everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Watcher on the Web. I'll be your host for today. And as you can see, Scott's not here. So you're stuck with me. I'm joined today by my good friend, Mr. Joe Dolio. How you doing today, Joe?
I have been better. It was 60 degrees 2 days ago. Today it is 17 degrees with 6 inches of snow on the ground. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it snowed all day yesterday and finally stopped around 7 p.m. last night. And so it's a little cool and a little snowy this morning. And I got to drive down today, so lots going on. I got guys showing up for class, and then we have class all weekend. It's going to be a good time. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good, man. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say I also got the snow this morning and knew because Mrs. Watcher had us go cover up all the strawberries she just so carefully put in the ground. Yay.
Nice.
Anyhow, class should be great this weekend. Remind me, this is going to be your combatives course, right?
It is. Tomorrow we do unarmed self-defense in the morning and then ground fighting in the afternoon. Then on Sunday, we do sticks in the morning and knives in the afternoon. So if you miss it this time around, fret not, because we have the long version coming up on May 2nd through the 4th, which is the same set of classes. Friday will be unarmed combatives and ground defense, and Saturday will be sticks and knives, but Sunday will be cold firearms combatives. Yes, bayoneting people, and muzzle strikes and butt strokes and all that good stuff. So lots of fun classes. Lots of folks started registering yesterday, thank God. So we're in pretty good shape with course registrations, but there's always room for you, our favorite viewer.
Well, speaking of favorite viewers, let's go through because we do have a couple of chat comments I'd like to talk about. First of all, Dabber Dan says, last show before hitting the road to Kalash Bash, fantastic. And if you would like to provide some on-the-ground reporting for the Council on Future Conflicts from the Kalash Bash, please see me in the DMs after the show.
Yeah, take some photos. Yeah, absolutely.
And then everybody else is just generally wishing us a good morning. And I appreciate all you being here. Yes, you're right. Forging Freedom, they are when the root system has established. But when you chunk them up from one spot and toss them into another, they tend to not be quite so hardy.
Right.
And Karen O, Groundhog don't know shit. You are entirely correct.
Yeah, we've given the Groundhog Industrial Complex entirely too much control over our weather forecasting.
All right. Well, speaking of giving people too much control, Joe, we got a couple of interesting topics today. So European resistance, Europe emboldened and resistance rising. I think you guys will have some fun with it. Oh, hold on. I'm going to take it as a compliment. We must be doing well today in that we've.
Oh yeah, that was fast. I'm sorry.
Viagra bot. Wow. Anyhow, but we got a lot of interesting topics today. But before we get into those, let's check it off with some odds and ends, Joe, because these are some interesting ones. And the first one, I think you're the guy to tell us about what our friend in South Africa had to say.
This is actually a fantastic and well-written article by Gideon, great friend of the channel. Oh man, I have his patch. I had his patch sitting right here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Stand by. Gideon, a great friend of the channel and purveyor of the Protected Operations Extraction Specialist, or POOS patch. If you speak Afrikaans, that's funny. We're going to wear that for classes this weekend. But it talks about the evisceration of the security industry with some new regulations. I've long pointed out that all effective law enforcement in South Africa is conducted by the private security industry because the South African police service is so corrupt and so woefully understaffed and underarmed that when they get calls, they call what's called armed response officers, which are private security elements, go out and do things. Well, they are bringing up a whole lot of new restrictions on the types of weapons they can carry, amounts of ammunition they can carry. They're actually limiting the use of non-lethal weapons, which then leaves you only lethal force as an option. So that's not a good thing. And they're all just entirely subjective things, not objective things. Makes it so that they can just decide that this security company is violating and that one isn't. And they've also made it so that if your company is facing any investigation, whether founded or not, your company cannot provide armed security services anywhere. What that means then is that anyone can make a complaint and your company is out of business. You can't provide armed response or armed officers anywhere. So great article about that. And as I always point out, we're on the South African plan, and we're going to mention that a little bit later in the show. Yeah. But they want to seriously take away all the effectiveness of the South African security industry. So give the article a listen. Gideon did another short video about it as well. You need to take a look at that. It's very draconian rules they want to implement on the only effective segment of South African criminal justice system.
Facts. Real quick, for $20 over on Rumble, Kaiser John says, hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you so much, Kaiser John. I really appreciate you guys. I just want to say the show is supported wholly by donations from viewers like you.
I'm glad you said I want to say thank you to everyone. Things have been arriving here all week off of the
that's right.
Needs wish list, and y'all are just amazing. So I want to thank everyone for that. We've got all kinds of stuff from cleaning supplies to the presentation supplies we wanted for the classrooms, radio equipment to build us our own radio station. No, Karen, no more spam. Thank God. We have plenty of spam. But people are kinds of stuff. Things like ink for the printer, mats for the classes we're teaching, all kinds of really good stuff. And I want to remind everyone that Camp Ponderosa is 100% donation driven, and we serve veterans here. So the ultimate goal here, even with the classes that we're doing, is to eventually be able to offer therapeutic things for veterans here and a vacation spot for all of you, where there's known people. You're not out there interacting with God knows who in the next campsite. Everyone here is like-minded and in good shape. So thank you all for your support. I got the wish list once again. And there goes Hunch one more time.
Holy cow. Hunch Dirty Roofer for 10 gifted subs over on Rumble. Guys, if you're not watching on Rumble, you really should. Looks like wow, okay. Looks like Be Prepared grabbed it. Looks like Dabber Dan got one. Looks like Kaiser John got one. Look at that. Thank you, Hunch. We really do appreciate you, man. We really couldn't do it without you guys. I mean that. I seriously do. It's funny that I get to use the old tagline from PBS, but it is true that we are supported entirely by viewers like you, and we appreciate the hell out of you. And with that in mind, let's get into another story that you guys are going to like. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I just Dabber Dan says, come to a fall training in Texas. I will be in Oklahoma.
Ooh, yeah.
So
a beautiful, beautiful place in Oklahoma. You'll quite enjoy that if you head out there.
Who claims to have defeated the tick problem there? So we shall see.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm going to get down there a couple of days early and try to help with the pigs again. And listen, you know, it's very easy for everyone to tell me to come and visit them. And don't take this as a personal thing against you, Dabber Dan. It's something I say to everybody. Look, man, there's one of me and a million of you. It's way easier for you to find me than for me to try to travel around and hit everyone. I've got a family balance I have to make too. So,
come on, brother.
This is fun.
And he happens to be pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. So,
you know what? You've been at a few. You would know. So,
yeah. All right, so our next odds and ends comes to us via Arn McIntyre, and let's talk a little bit about what he's addressing here first. So this is $1 was worth €1 at the beginning of the year. The dollar is declining in value, now worth 90 euro cents. Your European summer just got more expensive. Ari McIntyre says, well, hold on. Hold on. I want to connect these two first, Joe, real quick. If you're wondering who is the American economy for, the phrase your European summer just got more expensive should make that clear. Go ahead, Joe.
So literally no one spends a European summer vacation. And two, how many countries use the euro as their reserve currency? None, not even the European countries. So I really don't care about the value of the dollar versus the euro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good for us. I'll put it that way. In trade, it is good for us that the euro is more valuable than the U.S. dollar. But again, these are all funny. What do you call it? Where two things are both relative, and so they both just kind of float in space. So who cares, right? Like it's they're both made up currencies, anyways. But the next one is a little more substantial, folks. Our final odds and ends is something that touched close to home for me, and I think you'll find it will for you as well. Brought to us by Phoenix Arms. Phoenix Arms prepares to find ammunition since whenever the hell those bastards got started, because I love them. They say here they're talking about they've shared an article that's linked to talking about example 1. PMC from South Korea was hit with a 25% tariff and is a major supplier of the most popular options for 5.56/223 ammo, as well as 9mm and other calibers. This tariff increases the cost of 1,000 rounds of 5.56 by about $100 and 1,000 rounds of 9mm by about $50. At this point, they simply can't compete on the market against U.S. manufacturing and most likely would slowly exit the market over the next year, with the most popular products drying up first. To which Phoenix Arms says, and I completely agree with him here, we're going to find out if you guys actually want your ammunition to be made in America or not. That is what you want, correct? We can laugh at the people who are about to be paying $300 for a pair of Jordans, and we can say, fuck Nike for putting 150 factories and employing 450,000 workers in Vietnam. But some of those people will also be the ones bitching when they have to pay a little bit more for American-made 9mm. It takes time to build factories and spin up a second and third shift. A primer factory launched in Texas a little while ago, and it took the better part of 3 years for them to get everything built, tested, and ready for production. Be patient, trust the process, and give American manufacturers a little time to sort things out. I think that this is true not just in the ammunition world, Joe.
Yeah, I may know a little more about this due to some things. There is a big move to bring a very large ammunition manufacturer onshore into America. We're working on that. Someone's working on that, and that's going to actually help. But it's a long road. That primer factory down there is one piece of it. In Texas, there's also powder manufacturers that are at the root of this. In the U.S., there is exactly one place that makes the right kind of powder. Yeah. So we need to fix that problem. But Phoenix is actually right. It's going to cost us a little bit more in the long run. So if you hadn't already been stacking ammo, you're going to have a problem.
I like what your Arctic boy here says. He says, listen, if Phoenix made 303, I'd be sure to kid me.
Right? But never attempt to get Phoenix to make some other kind of ammo because
that goes poorly.
On a related note to this, there was a statement released by Zastava yesterday, which was actually a very good one. Zastava said that that while the tariffs are going to impact their imports of rifles, they're not raising their prices on anything because they think it's the right move for America. So
wow,
they're willing to take a little less profit margin to tough it out in the long run. So
lesson here, boys and girls. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Zastava is still privately owned, correct?
Yes.
Lesson here, boys and girls.
Yeah. Right.
If you want to have integrity,
you
need to fully own your company.
And let's be honest, Zastava firearms were probably a little overpriced given the fact that Serbian kids make them. So
well, there's that.
Anywho, Zastava statement. Phoenix just telling the truth. Things are going to cost a little bit more. And somebody actually said in reply to that, so what, you want shoes made in America? And he was like, yes, that would be great. It would help our economy and give more jobs here. People just miss that. They want the cheap goods. And Nike, for the record, is not cheap. So
yeah. Look, I'm gonna say something that it's boomer core. I'll admit it right now. I'll say it before it even leaves my lips. It's boomer core, but I love it. When I was growing up in the 90s, my town still had a cobbler. There was a man you could go to and say, these are my favorite pair of shoes. They're about to fall apart. Please fix them. Try and find that now.
But the ad of lower priced boots and shoes has made that go away. I remember the Meijer stores. For those of you in the Midwest know what a Meijer store is. Every Meijer store had a cobbler in the front corner, and it was a privately owned business. A guy, like a little local guy who rented space from them to do it. But they had a cobbler in every store, and now that's completely gone. Blueberry.
Peach, for the record. Hunch Duty Roofer for $2 over on Rumble says, just put out a tent, Dan. Joe will find you.
Listen, man, that's uncalled for. Although I would like to point out that the photo that keeps going around, the altered photo that keeps going around of Sibley kissing me on the cheek, is going to get made into a print and will be hanging in the Camp Ponderosa library /bar. So,
from James E., food and bullets is the only true currency.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, if that's true, then prepare for major currency inflation, is what we're saying.
I do accept class payments in 556 or 762 by 39.
Nice.
Well, it's 762 by 54 too. I mean,
I was just going to say, you don't discriminate. Any 762.
Although I don't have a single 762 by 51, so don't come at me with that, bro. Be the Russian made. Come on.
Well, folks, Joe, I think we've done kind of just a rolling commercial for the first part of the show. Should we skip the commercial segment here? Oh, actually, no. Guys, if you have not done so already, you should go sign up for Scott's Land and Sea comic book. Joe and I just proofread the most recent version. It's damn good. Joe, should we take a second? I'm not a comic book person, and I'm telling you, I really liked that. That was fun to read.
Despite Blaine's insistence otherwise, the bearded character is not me. It's a very, very good comic. It's a really good story. Very realistic stuff in it goes on, including a lot of the military centric stuff. If you've served, you will get a lot of the military specific stuff, like what's a BDOC and several things like that, and all kinds of cool stuff. It's really good, well drawn. Couple lettering issues for now, but it'll come out. By the time it comes out to you guys, it'll be fine. But the comic is fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say comic. Scott hates it when I call it a comic. The graphic novel.
The graphic novel, yeah.
Goes out. So check it out. You Land and Sea, the first one, really good. What I can't wait is for the project that I put together for Scott, and that is Scott an Angry American converting the Going Home series into comic book form. So that's going to be pretty darn cool.
Okay, well, I kind of have a commercial for myself, Joe, just a small one, and I'm testing the waters here. Chat, I have a question. Watchers trying to, I'm looking out there, I'm seeing a lot of people that make a lot of great products and do a lot of great things, and I'm trying to see how I can enhance your life. So if you can think of something, let me know. We have a lot of production capacity here as it is, but the avenues that I've tried to take, it always seems like there are other people occupying that space already that I didn't see before I got into it. So yeah, if nothing else, we will have a pretty steady supply of quail eggs, and they ship very well. And they're high enough value that it actually is somewhat worth shipping. So if you're out there and you're like, hey, quail eggs, hit me up. Your Arctic Boys says, kick started already. Also, Detroit Rust and Ruin in September from Wargate Books. Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I have had the opportunity to read bits and pieces of this, and it's just outstanding. Yeah. And if you're a Michigan resident, very geographically correct.
Well, let me explain this, because I'm not sure everybody was tracking. Like, I know what it is and you know what it is, but I'm not sure all the chat's tracking. Chat, while you were busy watching Council on Future Conflicts and relaxing, your Arctic boy was studying the pen, and has
mastered the pen.
Has decided to contribute and make a book, which is getting published by Wargate Books. I'm so freaking happy for you, my guy. I need to talk to Wargate, because I want a shelf in my little game store that's just Wargate Books. I need to at this point, honestly, considering how tied in I am with all of their authors. Gosh dang, I really need to talk to them and figure that out. Remind me after the show.
It will be, when it comes out, it will be on the shelf in the library here at Camp Ponderosa. We're adding a second library. And I've got an entire shelf in the current library of the Twitter authors. Everyone we know from Twitter and all their books are right on one shelf here in the library. It's a big shelf, but we will continue to do that and support our people, right?
Hey, well, in on a collaboration with that, James Ease for $2 says, buy books instead of $90 Nintendo games. Amen, brother.
I think he had a $2 one up above too. Oh, you already read it. Disregard.
Yeah.
Disregard.
Well, all right, folks. Now that we've got through. Oh, I guess the other thing is, if you do happen to do gaming stuff, or you need anything 3D printed, hey, reach out. I can, if you buy Magic cards or Pokemon cards or 40K or D&D or any of that kind of stuff, let me know. I sell that. It is my business, in fact, and that business could use a little help at the moment. So yeah, let me know. With that said, folks, it's time to move into our main segment for the day. Let's talk about Europe. Polish president blasts hate speech law and promotes push for communist-style EU. Joe, I like the Polish president.
Yeah, I always have. And what's actually funny is everyone thought he was going to go the other way. He has to deal with his own prime minister, but as president, dude has been great. But he still has to fight Tusk, his prime minister. But the guy is pretty based. He knows what he's talking about, and he's not wrong here. The hate speech law actually limits freedom, and of all places, Poland, to be bemoaning that. History-wise, Poland knows about free speech being criminalized. Free speech got them invaded by the Russians in the 80s, if you recall your history, or I guess late 70s. But to hear him come out on this side is actually really, really good. I think that you're going to end up seeing a Polish-Hungarian alliance of some type that pushes back against the EU and may even leave the EU.
That'd be nice for them. Good Lord. I hope for and wish for the best for him. Let me dig into this article a bit. As Polish presidential elections near and the term of the current president Andrzej Duda comes to an end, the head of state gave an interview to Not Even Gonna Try and Radio Myanmar. During the segment, Duda covered many topics, including the Sejm's new so-called hate speech law, which he said he would not sign, saying it is built on lies about well-established concepts. The president also called out the left for being hypocritical. Duda said it is very characteristic that these left liberal trends, which shout so loudly about tolerance and diversity, are the first to block free speech, defining language as they wish, while also punishing any deviation from what they say is correct. Yeah, it's almost like they all got a playbook in advance, Joe, and have been following it for the last decade or so.
Yeah, right. What was ironic is Europe was all anti-communist up until we defeated the Russians. Then they were like, maybe they didn't have such a bad idea. And now they've really swung the other way around, which is absolutely ridiculous and stupid on its face. Because the European alliance, NATO and EU and all that was actually founded out of a fighting of the Nazis, who were actually, when you just dig down to it, socialists and communists.
Whoa, holy cow, Lost Corps. In yet another act of extreme generosity, gifts another 10 future conflict subs. Folks, if you're over, you know what? In fact, let's do this right now. Joe, guys, we're going to stop this mid-segment. We're going to come back. We're literally going to be talking about the exact same thing. However, it's been half an hour. I think it's time to tell YouTube to kick rocks. And part of the reason for doing so is that, guys, you need to get over here so that you can claim these free memberships. So I'm going to drop you guys the link. Head on over to Rumble if you haven't done so already. Enjoy the outro music from over here. And yeah. Anything else before we take off from YouTube, Joe?
Yeah, let me just say real quick. I know we were skipping over the commercial segment, but I'm not going to. Buy some Tactical Wisdom books. Tactical Wisdom 6 is wrapping up, getting lots of cool skills in the Field Skills Handbook. So it's just going to be pretty good. Register for classes. We have the big spring training week coming up, May 16th through the 25th. We're going to have RTO, the basic radio class by NC Scout. We're going to have SIGINT by NC Scout. Then we're going to have night fighting, where we're going to get out with our night vision and actually learn how to move and how to fight and shoot under night vision. And then we'll do community security ops. If he's watching and wants to confirm one way or the other, there is a rumor that Kay from Combat Studies Group is going to slide a ground rod in there somewhere. It'll probably be on the day of another class, but that's okay. We got room for more than one class at one time. And you could theoretically take ground rod during the day and night fighting at night. Who needs sleep anyway? Several of the people in the chat can confirm that when we're training, we get about 3 hours of sleep a night anyway. So
Yo, we need to flat out do a Crucible style training,
right? Where you get no sleep for 72 hours.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a good time. And I also have Fieldcraft coming up April 24th to the 27th, and then or 25th to the 27th, I'm sorry. And then Combatives Weekend, 5-2 to 5-4. So we've got lots of classes on the schedule. Check it out. I will be finishing up over the weekend my schedule for the rest of the year. We're going to include a lot more outdoor survival type classes and some 1-day and 2-day classes that enable folks to not have to take as much time off to actually take a class. So some good stuff.
Nice. Well, all right, folks. That's it over here on YouTube. Head on over to Rumble to see the rest of the show. And yeah, we'll see you after the music.
2, 0, 1.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zones.
3, 6, 4, 6.
The chair is against the wall.
3, 6.
The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache.
8, 2, 5.
John has a long mustache.
8, 2, 5, 0, 9.
It's 12 o'clock. talk Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.